on the streets. You gotta listen to peace on the streets.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Peace on the Streets radio show.
Ow!
With your host, Prince of the Sun.
And your girl, Mimi.
What it do, Mimi?
Oh my gosh, it's so hot.
Yeah, it is smoking outside.
I'm sweating all the time.
Man, it felt like it was like 97 degrees.
Yeah, seriously.
But that's a good thing, huh?
Yeah, it kills the germs, right, guys?
Yeah, they said the corona do not like heat.
Yeah.
So, we've been getting plenty of that in Florida. I don't know where you all are, but where we had in Orlando, it's smoking.
Do you think it's too soon to open everything? Well, a little by little opening, but do you think it's too soon right now?
Well, see what happened? They're doing it in phases.
Right? I understand that, but do you think it's too soon right now?
Well, not the different phases, because it's not like they're opening up everything at one time. They're doing it in phases.
But other states are still on lockdown, so do you think it's still too soon?
Well, in Florida, maybe not, because of the heat. Because they're saying with the Florida,
I tell you the truth. I think it's because of Disney. Just saying, Disney runs everything, and they are not going to be here closed for 4 to 5 months.
And they saying they're finna open up soon.
Of course.
Disney say they are.
I'm a little scared. I'm not going to any barber shops or salons or nail. I'm not going anywhere. Not even to restaurants. I feel like it's too soon.
Well,
so
how soon do you want? How long you want to be on lockdown?
I'll wait. I'll just look around and wait until I see what's going on.
Only thing you're gonna see is more people. So what you waiting on?
No, it can go further down. It could be another. We could hit another curve. I'm trying to sit back and watch.
Okay, so in other words, because they're only gonna start letting more people out.
That I know, and that's what's scary.
Okay, so how long are they supposed to close down the country?
I'm not a scientist, or I'm not the one that's now. But I'm just saying, I'm not gonna rely on what I hear from the government.
Okay.
Or the state.
So that's why we got Nurse V.
At the end of the day, it's politics and money. So I am just going to sit back and watch and observe and sit back and be the last one out.
Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't have got me a haircut.
I know. I understand. There's a lot of people that are like,
some people had to go get haircuts, But the barbers got to be safe, because sooner or later you're going to have to open. We can't live in fear the rest of our life. Because what's going to happen is that it's just like the flu and pneumonia. This virus not going nowhere. So, sooner or later you're going to have to get in. And
it's definitely a different breed, though. It's definitely a lot stronger, and it's just a whole other level. Because I've never seen a pandemic or epidemic before. It's something that's a whole
Even
other
if
level.
we wait 2 years, we still have a chance to get it.
Of course.
So your chance of never getting it is not getting it is going. Because hey, even whenever you come out, how about you say I'm finna wait a year before I come out? Bam, you get it, because you never know.
About that. Wait a year.
So we don't know who might have it, just like pneumonia and the flu.
Would you get tested?
Oh yes, I would get tested. I'm not scared to get tested.
I feel like they're gonna give it to me or something.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I'm like, why go if if I have no problems? Like, why go?
Right. That's the case if I feel sick.
There. So you would get tested if you feel symptoms.
If I feel sick.
Some people are getting tested just because.
No, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Nope, sure not. But is that being selfish? Family, you guys call in. Let us know how you feel about that. Is that being selfish, not going to get tested? How you feel?
Yeah, Alexis, how do you feel?
I know that you can be a carrier of it. So, I don't know how much that would affect it. But I think by now you would probably know if you had it or not.
Right.
But, also with staying in for a year for long periods of time,
it's like ridiculous.
I feel like, but you also, I think, are more prone to getting it because you don't have the germs or anything for your body to fight off.
That's a good one, too. Yeah, you can get it anytime. You could get tested and then get it tomorrow.
Right, because, soon, like we walked into the building, you go to the gas station, wherever you go. So, they say it's when you talk, it goes into the air, airborne. So, you don't never know where you might get it.
It's crazy. So, we have Torrance right now, and he's listening and watching. He said so many businesses are gone, and we need more checks. But he's also said, get him, Mimi, because he knows. I'm like, ugh. But I get that. We can't survive. But, our government is not really assisting us in that matter. Sorry. So we're scared. We need to live.
Yeah.
The countries are, I got your mortgage. I got your rent. I got the power for the next 3 months. Here it's like, we'll give you money, but you got to pay us back.
Well, I don't think you have to pay back the stimulus check. You don't have to pay that back. Do you?
You'll see.
Well, we
If it
don't
comes
know
out of our
yet.
taxes.
Hey.
We want to give a shout out to Chef Rich. He's listening right now.
What's up, Chef Rich?
He's so excited that our lineup. He loves our lineup.
Yes.
And he has he had a couple of he's gonna make a dinner for some of our lineups. Has nothing to do with us. That's a small world that he just happens to
Wonderful.
know them.
What?
Big shout out to 321 No Fault, our sponsors. They're watching and listening right now.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
If you have an accident, any kind of fall, slip and fall, I mean, call them. I had a slip and fall.
I know, Prince.
And it's been going very well. I've been going to physical therapy. They've been taking good care of me, So, hey, you guys, you do have a slip and fall, any kind of accident, please call. What is 321 No Fault?
It is.
I can testify they will, and I am very happy with them.
So happy to hear this.
Very happy with them.
They're great.
9:15. We got Commissioner Victoria Siplin. She'll be calling in.
Yes.
And she's Commissioner District 6 of Orange, District 6 of Orange County, so hey.
She's so, she's so inspiring. And we also have Monique Roel. She's an attorney, and she's a candidate for state attorney.
Yes.
She's a beast in the game.
Yes.
We also have Andrew Darling.
Oh, what?
He'll actually be coming in, as we have to keep it limited, so we are social distancing.
Yes, we are. Everybody's setting apart. It's kind of strange.
It is. It's quiet.
But that's the way it is in our world now, that we have to be safe and sorry.
That's it. And he's a candidate for Orange County Sheriff.
Yes.
I mean, these guys are making a change.
Yes, they are.
It's such an honor to be with them.
And we have Miss Angela.
Yeah. Did you know that? Miss
International.
Angela, CEO of Miss International World and CEO of Miss Latina International. Do you know she gave us a shout out on Florida National News?
Did
Alexis
she?
and Fritz, yes.
What?
That I actually have the clip. And if you go on our Facebook, Peace on the Streets Radio, you will see the clip. And it's actually some sort of entertainment that's relatable to Florida National News. And they showed our video on the cruise when we did the interview with all 50 contestants, but they just saw a brief clip of us. It was amazing. So we got on Florida National News.
Thank you, Miss Angela. So she'll be coming on and letting us know what's going on.
She's amazing. She's so supportive of us. I love her.
Yes, and then we have Sports Talk.
Yeah.
With our girl Alexis. What's up, Alexis?
Hey, we're doing good.
Yeah, girl. So we got a Sports Talk with Alexis. I see something going on with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes, the Steelers have to put in my team.
I'll give it to you.
So you guys, and you know what? We're going to be rocking some Anita Baker and Luther Vandross. So you guys call in. Let me know your favorite Luther song and Anita Baker. Hey, we're going to give them a shout out today, and we're going to ride with them just a little bit today.
We are. And big shout out to Apopka High School. We met a young lady named Tatiana. She's listening right now. Hopefully they give us a call. Apopka High School is listening. Big shout out to them. Congratulations. Class of 2020. Woo!
So you guys keep it locked to Peace on the Streets radio show. It's time for some romance. And you guys, after the romance, we will have Mrs. Siplin, Commissioner Siplin on the line, you guys. Keep it locked to Peace on the Streets. We got one of our favorite commissioners on the line, and she needs no introduction. The one and the only, Mrs. the beautiful Victoria Siplin.
Woo!
How you doing, Commissioner?
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be invited to a platform that informs the people, encourages the people, strengthens the people. So I want to thank you for allowing me to be on your platform and for the great work that you're doing in the community. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate you, because you're not a stranger to Peace on the Streets.
No, sir.
Yeah, we've been riding for like 5 years.
Amazing. That's amazing, Prince.
Yes, so it's good to have her back on.
Yes.
So what's been going on, Mrs. Siplin, Commissioner?
Well, I can tell you, we and everybody knows this, that we're living in a time where things are what we call very fluid. Things change day by day, but with God's guidance, we're able to sustain and maneuver. What I would say is that we as a community have been through hard times, so I think we're going to survive this. Well, not I think. I know we're going to
Yeah.
survive
Right,
this.
right.
And so it's just like we just got to take it. You know that song that we grew up on, One Day at a Time.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's how we got to take it. You know, you really can't worry about things you can't change.
Right.
You just got to try to do your best, and for those things that you have control over, that's what you got to worry about. You know, so every day things change, and even with the government, what we're dealing with, things change day by day.
I'm
You
sure.
know, so I just tell folks, just make the best of it, and just know that this too shall pass.
That's it. So do you think it's too soon to open up?
Well, I don't, because we have to get to some sense of normalcy. While for those who are still our vulnerable population, those who have certain underlying health issues, I think we all have to take precautions, but I do think we do need to start the process of coming back to not the same way how we used to operate, but we
Right.
got to get back. We got to get out of our houses. We got to get back to doing things how we used to, but just in a different way.
More
I have a
cautious.
senior. What is it?
Being more careful, wearing your mask. I mean, it ain't
Yeah.
what you do, it's how you do it. So you still have to protect yourself. And I was in Walmart the other day. I mean, didn't nobody have a mask on but me.
Oh,
I was
no
like,
way.
Jesus Christ.
That's kind of scary as well.
Very.
I actually walked out today for the first time by a restaurant because our sponsor is 321 No Fault. Everybody was wearing a mask, and it felt good to be free.
Yeah.
I kept saying it feels good to be free.
Right.
But you have to be cautious as well. Yeah.
For sure.
Right. And what you can think about is this has really shown us how uncleanly folks have been. Like somebody has to teach you
That's
how
true.
to wash your hands.
Right.
Like somebody has to teach you how to clean and how to wipe up. And I'm like, these are things that, I grew up cleaning. We all, know you got to scrub and wash your hands.
Yeah.
You can't wash your hand and then turn off the faucet. I mean, there are certain things that I thought people really knew how to do, but
I agree.
it shows us that people's cleanliness wasn't up to par.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. We were raised that way.
Yeah, this is it's like new to certain people. And then I was taught if you have pneumonia, if you're sick, stay your butt in the house.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with
The
this.
flu
If you-
and a cold, period.
Yeah, you don't be around a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's kind of scary, but it's not. Long as just doing like with me, I go to work.
Just try to do
and
right.
then you know what I'm saying, and not going on home. I don't have to do all the extra, and like they was doing in D-Land. I mean, was it crazy?
What were they doing in D-Land?
Tell them, Commissioner, they were down there slugging and thugging.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I think they had like a block party.
No way.
Yes.
1,000 people.
Huh?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane. I'm afraid to have a birthday party.
Yeah.
And by the way, shout out to my son Royal. He's turning 12 years old.
Happy birthday, Roy.
Yeah, this Saturday, and I'm not having a party.
No.
No.
I don't blame
I
you.
want to keep the kids away,
So I want to
Yeah.
ask you about with Trump, with the unveiling of the with Obama. How did you feel about that?
Right.
Was it kind of just crazy?
Oh, that's politics. That's politics. That's what they do.
Okay.
I mean, that's what they do. And you just sometimes when people are going back and forth like that, you guys got to remember we have an election coming up. This is politics, and people go after publicity. They want publicity. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. So you just got to stay focused on what the real issues are and what's happening, and that's what you got to go at. You got to see through past all of the foolishness.
Right.
And people are out there. People are hungry. People can't pay their bills. People, children can't. I got a senior can't walk across the stage. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Wow.
You
Yes.
got to put things into perspective.
Right.
And you guys need to stop all the bickering, stop all the back and forth, and let's talk about taking care of the real issues about how people are suffering and how are we going to assist them. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's the most
So-
important. Like you're saying, the people that we can touch, and the people that's in our circle. What can we do for them? You know, because outside the White House, I mean, hey, we need to worry about home first
That's
because
it.
that's going to take care of itself.
Our
in
city
time.
officials, our county, our state, we got to take care of home first, guys, in order to make a huge change, and it's overlooked.
Yeah.
I don't think too many vote on inner city. I don't think too many vote for city, officials. And
Right.
It's highly important. This is why we have Commissioner
Yes.
Victoria Siplin and a lot of power hitters here in the city so we can relate to them and they can make a change for us and hear us out. They hear us, guys.
Yes. And they feel us because I know you're continuously working in the community. Everybody know the discipline for working in the community. So we do appreciate the service that you provide. And I know it's not
Absolutely.
always easy because she's at meetings. And I've seen this. She worked all day. And then she's at meetings. And then she's trying to relate those meetings, what's going on in those meetings
Beautiful
over
thing.
to us. Like we did. She was on the show. We was talking about the stages of I think, they was doing the airport. So you was pushing that to let small businesses, you guys got to come to those meetings. But a lot of times we don't show up, then we wonder why we don't get in the
Right.
contract because we do not follow up.
Right.
And not only follow up, but there's a process, and sometimes the process can be strenuous. It can be a little tedious, and because we don't go through past the paperwork and the submitting documents, we just give up. A lot of times we just want things handed to us, and it doesn't work that way.
No.
That's how they weed you out. They throw a little, they make some stuff up where you got to apply and you got to submit documents, and people just don't. They just don't want to go through that, and so. So they miss out on a lot of things. Because once you get in there, you're good. But
Right.
the part is getting in there. It is difficult, but once you're in there, then things are a little bit easier.
Right.
So that's why I try to tell folks, you just can't just give up because
You
and
have
then
a
if it is
stumbling
difficult,
block.
You got to right. And then if it does become difficult, that's where there's so much support. There's so much resources out there. You see it all the time. People try to give advice with business and how to conduct your business, how to file your paperwork, so the resources are there. You just go out there and seek some support.
Because
Sometimes
Magic
you can't do
Johnson.
it by yourself.
Magic Johnson is giving, he's partnered up with, because he has an insurance company, and they're giving $100 million away to help small business. Well, they're not giving it; it's a loan. So
Yep.
you
Oh,
got
is it?
yes,
It's a loan?
Yes, it's $100 million that they have to help small business during this time.
Well, and
so,
then the county, we just received $243 million from the federal government, and we've allocated a little over $72 million. We separated it, so we got money for individuals, additional funding for individuals from the CARES Act, and then we have $10,000 for small businesses, and we consider a small business any business 25 employees or less.
5 employees or less.
That application will be opened up June the 1st. So we're in the process. I mean, last night, we voted and approved it and put some criteria into place. And there were actually two things, well, three things that really bothered me, but two things I got them removed. One thing they had on there were if you had a home business, you did not qualify, which I thought was not good, because you have some people, they have legitimate businesses, but they don't need a brick and mortar. They don't need to go rent an office. They can run their business and do their paperwork from a home office. So they removed that. And then they had, if you were a convicted felon, that you could not apply for the money. And I'm like,
wow.
There's no federal guidelines restricting somebody who had a felony conviction. So why are you guys trying to put this attached to this money for businesses? Because I know there are a lot of people who have been, had some contact with the criminal justice system, and they have a felony on their record. Nobody won't hire them. So we always encourage them, become an entrepreneur. What is your skill? if nobody won't hire you, you become your own boss. So now the county wanted to penalize those people with criminal
Unbelievable.
convictions. If you
They don't have a chance.
felony, you couldn't get this federal money. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So, they removed it.
Wow.
Thank you,
Commissioner
I'm telling you,
Sibley. See why it's so
that's why we
important to
mess
vote?
with you, honey. That's why we mess with you, girl.
Because I can tell you several businesses in our community that are run by people with convictions, and they do they've turned their lives around.
Right.
They're taxpayers, and they give
Yeah.
back to the community. So how can y'all try to stop them from getting money? Like, that makes no sense to me.
See, this is a
And they
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
The changes that she's making, because not only that, we have State Attorney Roel coming, speaking on the line,
Right.
and also candidate for sheriff. They're the same way. They're trying to change, prison reform it, or for felonies,
Right.
that last probation for like 20 years. She's doing the same thing.
Yes.
I didn't even know they were considering that.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that we don't know because we don't get a chance. We don't know
That's
about
it.
the meetings, and that's what commissioners going to keep us on top of all
Absolutely.
this kind of stuff. You're going to be a part of the show where we need you, honey, and the public
Absolutely.
needs you. So they and small business need you, so you be able to pass things on once you see the laws, because it comes to you all first, and then we would love for you to pass on anything that's great, informational that we need in the community. Please let us know. Keep us informed.
So I will, once the application process, before they open it up, I'll make sure that I send you the information so you can tell your listeners about, what the qualifications are, and they can start getting their paperwork together. So when June 1st, I would say at 12 midnight on like what, May?
May.
What, May 30th? We got 30 days in May?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, so May 30th at 11:59, be ready to hit submit and submit your stuff. Don't wait till the last minute. If you know the application process begins on June 1st, then you should be ready
Yeah.
before the week before June 1st,
Start
with all
preparing
of your
yourself.
documentation. I mean, that's what it's about. That's how, because
It's true.
we can only do with the money that we have. We've estimated about 6,500 small businesses will qualify. So
Wow.
it might seem a lot, but we have a lot of businesses
Yeah.
in Orange County. We got more than the 6,500 businesses. You understand what I'm saying?
So what does it take to qualify? What's the criteria to qualify?
Well, like I said, you just have to be in existence for like 2 years. You have to have at least between 1 to 25 employees. But if you have a business at home, you have to have yourself and 2 more employees. You have to have at least 3 employees. So those are some of the qualifications. I can't remember all of them because
Okay.
they're actually, after our discussion last night, they're actually trying to put everything together. They're going to give it to us, review it, to see if we have any changes, and then go from there. So
Wonderful,
yeah,
wonderful.
It's not difficult to
Okay.
prove. And then you have to be registered. Of course, everybody knows that if you got a business, you got to be registered. So,
Right.
Right.
yeah.
We thank you. We thank you for being a
Absolutely.
part of the show. And please keep us informed. And anything you'd like to tell the listeners before you get out of here.
What is it? I didn't hear you quite well.
Anything you'd like to tell the listeners, because we got to wrap it up, Ms. Commissioner.
Okay, no problem. Well, I just want to tell the listeners again that this too shall pass, and we know that we've faced obstacles in our lives before, and they just have to keep the faith and just, let know that God's in control.
Amen.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, Commissioner Victoria Siblin, Orange County Board of Commissioners, District 6.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
God bless
You're
you.
welcome, and you guys have a great night. Bless you.
You too. Peace on the streets. Welcome back, you guys. A Peace on the Streets radio show with your host, Prince of the South.
And your girl, Mimi.
And that was Luther. Creep. And we have Nurse V on. Nurse V with a V, you guys. What's up, Nurse V? How you doing?
Hey, fine. How are you doing?
We are well, Nurse V. Thank you so much for being online with us. Nurse V is actually in the front line, literally. She's actually on the testing sites
Wow.
that is actually testing individuals that may have COVID. So thank you so much for being with us, and as well as your colleagues. God bless you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see that everybody's well. Thank God for that. So Nurse V, what's going on right now with this virus? What do you guys see?
Well, the reason why we're out there still testing is because they're trying to find out if they do phase 3. And then we see that it's a decrease, not an increase. So which is good. It's not high, it's low. So they're going to be continue having testing for a little bit until we see how this goes. Because once phase 3 opens, we'll know more. Because if it goes back up, then guess what? We have to start shutting down again.
Shut down. I'm actually really happy to hear this. Now it makes me feel better to go out. That they're actually still on standby and they're still watching, they're still testing, and they're watching to see what will happen. I actually feel really a lot better now.
Yeah. Well, it's a process,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
It's a process, Nurse V.
It completely changed everyone's. This whole world completely changed now. I mean, the guidelines are, to me, it's great. 6 feet away from everybody, and you have to wear your mask, and you have to always clean wash your hands. So it's changed a lot of people's lives.
Can I ask you a question, Nurse V? Because a lot of us are contemplating on this. When it comes to wearing masks, everyone's like, hey, if you have the cloth, you have to wash it. Every day you wear it. Or, if you have the medical mask, you have to change it. So is that true? How does this work when it comes to mask?
The mask you should wear when you go to the stores and stuff, yes. It's a procedure mask. The N95 is when you're going to the hospital and you're near someone that you think might have positive.
So all these
someone that you think might be positive is when you wear the N95. But nowadays we really don't know who's positive or not because you could be carrying the virus.
So
you don't have
that's
to have
the scary
symptoms.
part.
You don't have to have the symptoms.
That's the scary part.
What I can tell you is there's a lot of free tests out there. So even if you don't feel like you have the virus, you don't have it, you should, if you want to, it's up to you. It is free. You can get tested. It's free.
People are scared to take tests.
I'm going to give you the website. It's www.ocfl.net/COVID-19. That's the county website that you can have different sites where you can go to get tested.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
All you need is an ID. Freedom Elementary School tomorrow is going to be their last day being tested there. They're giving out masks free and giving out hand sanitizer. So anyone who's interested in going to get tested, it's best to make an appointment. There's still appointments available. But if you want to drive through, you could. Even if you walk through, they'll still test you.
Nice.
Wow. So you said, good question, Prince. A lot of us are scared to get tested.
Yeah.
Even if we feel well, we're supposed to do this?
Well, the only thing I can tell you, if people do get tested and they become positive, they have to go by the CDC guidelines.
See, they're gonna grab you away,
right?
And like E.T.
Okay,
away from the world.
So if they test me and I'm positive, right then, do they take me? How does this go?
Away.
How did it work out? Do they take you into isolation?
That's a good question.
You get tested, and you have to wait at least 3 to 5 business days. Somebody will call you and tell you negative or positive.
Okay.
So basically,
you don't know right
you
on
stay
the spot.
home.
And if you're positive, we'll connect you to a doctor, and the doctor will call you if you're positive. And then they'll tell you to follow the guidelines, CDC guidelines.
Okay.
And keep in mind, if you're positive, you have to go through the guidelines.
Gotcha.
So it's not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, we're scared.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? It's just a process and that we're going to have to take.
Yeah.
And we never know when we might get it or whatever. Just go through the process and then, just like we went through the chicken pops.
Yeah, for sure. Polio and all that. This is back in the day, though.
Yes, but I'm just saying, so this is the new thing for today. So,
every 100 years, apparently, is something that really hits us. But Nurse V, real quick, though, are the masks that are cloth, are they secure? The masks that are made with cloth, and I really want to know this question. But you know how some of us are wearing masks that we make.
Mm-hmm. Are we buying
making it through cloth and a specialty mask because everybody likes this personalized mask? Are they still secure?
If it has a filter in it, it's good. If it doesn't have a filter, no, it's not.
So it's just for look then, I guess, Prince.
It has to have
Yeah.
a filter in it. So, but if it doesn't have a filter, it's not really protecting you. And, I see some people wearing their masks, and wearing it, they're not wearing it above going over covering their nose. They're wearing it underneath.
That's what, but so
Yeah.
you, Prince,
Uh-huh.
because you were under.
Yeah, I wore because I'm trying to breathe.
I know.
That's not protecting. You have to put it over your nose. It has to cover your nose all the way to your mouth.
Well, Mama, I'm gonna ask you this question. It was on social media. I don't know if it's allowed or not. If a person can they get it by another person passing gas?
If somebody passes a gas, well, you know what? That's a good question.
That's what I heard.
She's going to ask her colleagues now. That's a good one.
That's what I heard.
Wow.
So I'm just saying. So if that's the case, how would that mask gonna stop us if it go through some underwear, butt cheeks, and then some pants,
making me cry.
and then and you still can get it? I mean, really? That's a lot of going through.
He said, we just no hope, huh?
Yes.
Oh, man. That's a great question, though. She's going to come back to us on that.
We appreciate it. Nurse V, anything you like to tell the people before you go?
You're fine.
Nurse V, sometimes it's difficult to hear. Do you have anything you'd like to tell the people before we go?
Say that again. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Anything you'd like to tell the people before we bounce? We have to get out of here, Nurse V.
Okay, just keep doing what the mayor's telling you. Be cautious. Wear your mask when you go to store. 6 feet away. Keep doing everything that you possibly could. Don't gather around with a whole bunch of people. It's not party time.
Right.
It's not party time yet.
It ain't time to go to the strip club. Just hold on, Tricks.
They have drive-through strip clubs, too. Did you hear about that?
I heard they got drive-through
They have drive-through strip clubs.
And they saying, Nurse V, if you ain't got $50, $40, don't come through that plan. Today ain't the day to watch. Come on, make it rain, and in 5 minutes, man, we're going to keep moving to the next one. So we thank you, Nurse V. God bless you and keep you and being a frontliner. We thank you for, because you put your life on the line for us.
Every
day. And we appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And I'm a big shout out for Happy Memorial Weekend.
Yes.
For the people that passed away, that are veterans.
Yeah.
And big shout out to everyone who's out there working in this situation.
That's right, everyone.
God bless everyone.
And you guys stay at home, stay safe. You know what I'm saying? Now ain't the time to start getting out and party. 4th of July is coming. Different holidays is coming. Right. You guys do not start gathering up and acting crazy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on.
We appreciate you. God bless you, Nurse V. You guys keep it locked right here to Peace on the Street radio show with your host, Prince of the South.
And your girl, Mimi.
And we out of here.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Colorado. They're listening and watching right now.
Yeah.
South Carolina in the house listening.
Right.
Big shout out to Latin Connection magazine.
Okay.
Your girl Mimi was published in that issue.
What?
Yes.
Congratulations, girl.
It's great to be Latina. Thank you very much, Latin Connection.
Yes, and we do have a guest in tonight, and we appreciate you for being in, sir. Tell us your name and tell us your platform and what you got going on, Dr. Andrew.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me back. My name is Andrew Darling. I am an attorney here in Orange County, but I mean, way more importantly than that, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm an Orange County native, if you will.
Wow.
All right now.
We don't get those anymore.
This is those of us that are from here, those of us that grew up here, we all know each other. So,
okay.
It is a small town, huh?
Listen, Orlando and Orange County as a whole is a lot smaller than you think. But I am a candidate for Orange County Sheriff. My entire platform is criminal justice reform.
Okay.
I want to, here in Orange County, the sheriff does not control the jails. The Board of County Commissioners does. But I want to work to decarcerate our system, which means putting less people in jail, allowing people the opportunity to stay out, to fight those charges. It's not, folks will make the comments about, oh, well, progressives are soft on crime. No, we're not. Like, we just want to be fair.
Right.
And if you take somebody for a municipal ordinance violation, an open container, a bike, doesn't have a bell or a signal or a light, and you fully arrest them, put them in jail, and make them bond out, if they only had $500 in savings, there goes their $500.
Yeah, it's not fair.
And then how are they supposed to hire an attorney? They're not. They're going to get stuck with public defenders.
Oh, boy.
Who are phenomenal attorneys in their own right. I was a public defender.
Okay.
But they have so many cases.
I imagine.
And I mean, there was a time where I had north of 130 cases.
Jesus.
Wow.
So yeah, it's there's a struggle, and at some point tonight, I definitely want to talk about why I'm bringing up municipal ordinances.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
And how it relates to this conversation.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We have a caller.
Oh, yes.
How you doing, caller? We have a caller calling in from Memphis, Tennessee. How you doing, caller?
Hey, how are you? Actually, I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Hey, Dallas, Cowboys.
I'm not gonna hold that. I'm not gonna hold that against
Go
you.
Dallas.
You keep them Cowboys off this station.
But it was so interesting listening to the young man that is running for sheriff. I'm very impressed with that because I have family that's in the criminal justice, and they work for the sheriff's department. They both are retired captain. I have a sister that's an existing captain now,
Wow.
and I've never heard that the sheriff department don't handle the jail system. I never knew that another entity can do that. So it's under the Shelby County government, but the Shelby County sheriff, pretty much, they kind of work side by side with that. So that's just interesting in, hearing that from him. And he sounds like he's a very conscientious young man to do some things. I used to live in Orlando. I lived in Orlando for 12 years. I was on a theater circuit there in theater, and did a bunch of fashion shows in Orlando as a commentator and a plus-size model. So I have dear friends there, and actually I have a call out for anybody that know the Ram family, which is Rayam, to please give me a call. I'm also an author. So I want to do an audio of a book that was written 27 years ago by a prominent young man in the Orlando area by the name of Lee Norris Ram, Rayam. Unfortunately, my friend was murdered as he and his wife were vacationing in Jamaica.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, Auntie, sorry.
And she was a big-time TV personality there, but she has now since moved to Atlanta, and she's been there a long, long time. So as it has been with a lot of several people that's during the pandemic, we're saying don't come out don't come out the way you came into the pandemic. You need to come out doing something. So I want to do an audio. I want to put a voice to his poetry. He had a book out called Things You Should Know, and that would resonate to a lot of young people and adults today. So I want to put it on tape. I want to put it on CD. I want to put it on audio. But I need to find a family. I did speak with his former wife, but she's not communicating with me. But so somebody suggests, why don't you, just try to get in touch with the Ram family. But it's Rayam. Curtis Ram is a world-renowned opera singer, so I just messaged him, and I think he's a professor there in Orlando.
So she's trying to get heard, guys. You hear her?
Yes.
She's announcing this here in Orlando, Florida, because the demographics covers Orlando.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully they're listening.
Yes.
To Peace on the Streets.
Well, wonderful. And my number is, I don't care about giving my number out, is 901-484-7082. And you can tell I've dabbed in the radio broadcasting business just a tad bit.
Just a little bit.
I can tell, yeah. So well spoken. Thank you so much for listening to us on Peace on the Streets.
We appreciate
Mr. Andrew
you.
Donnelly, you got a fan.
Yes.
She's listening.
Well, I love what you guys are doing. I love what you all are doing. My nephew, I love him. He's an upstanding citizen of Orlando from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes.
Love you too, Auntie.
Thank you so much. And y'all support that young man that's running for sheriff.
Look
I
at
like
that!
what he was talking about.
Yeah. Well, hold on, Auntie, just so you can listen in. Continue, Mr. Andrew.
Well, again, thank you so much for your kind words. I was going through my Facebook as you said that because I do happen to know a couple Rams. One of them I went to school with, and they may be related to the folks that you know that you're talking about. But yeah, so here, like I said, the jail is a little bit different here. It's run by the Board of County Commissioners, which there are advantages and disadvantages to that. Sometimes folks say that sheriffs need to have less power, less control over the entirety of the system, because some folks feel like if you're in charge of the jail and one of your jobs is to get funding for that jail, well, it makes sense to have your deputies arrest more people and bring more people to the jail.
For sure.
So I can see the advantages there. One of the things that I want to do as part of the decarceration program, which is basically just stop fully custodially arresting people, which means, stop fully putting them in handcuffs, put them in the back of your car, doing the full search, incident to arrest. Like for any misdemeanor that is not domestic violence, because domestic violence is a whole separate issue that we have to handle on its own.
Right.
But for misdemeanors, give folks a ticket, give them a summons, give them a notice to appear. That completely undercuts the entire bail bond system. And we're talking about misdemeanors here. We're talking about petty thefts, driver's license issues, whether it's no valid driver's license, driving with a suspended license. There are going to be some batteries. So if you have a fight in a neighborhood, if you have young people fighting, and we say kids. I mean, I'm still relatively young.
Yes, you are.
At 35. But like for me, like I have an 18-year-old.
16, 17. They said one are the most dangerous people in America.
So I just had an article published last Friday in the Orlando Sentinel about juvenile justice reform and juvenile civil citations in the state of Florida. So a quick overview of that. The statewide average. So these are youth who are eligible for an alternative to arrest. So these are youth who are, they're in an interaction with law enforcement. Whatever the offense was that they committed, they are eligible not to be arrested. So basically they can be given a ticket, they can be given a summons, a notice to appear, and they're still going to have to face whatever these charges are. Okay?
Okay.
But in the state of Florida, the average is 62% of youth are given that opportunity. 62% who are eligible for an alternative to arrest are given that opportunity. We were just talking about Miami-Dade County. Down in Miami-Dade County, 93% of the eligible youth get that opportunity, which means only 7% are getting arrested. Down in Pinellas, down by St. Pete, 99% of the youth who are eligible get the option. They get that alternative.
Sweet.
So only 1% are getting arrested.
Okay.
In the Orange County Sheriff's Office, 35% are given the alternative, which means 65% of youth who are eligible for arrest are for not being arrested. 65% of them are being arrested.
Do they know their rights? Obviously not. So we don't know this is an option.
So there's an entire, it's a Department of Juvenile Justice State of Florida website where you can go through and you can literally punch in the department, the county, the year. This is all from 2019. So the Orange County Sheriff's Office is 27 points below the average in Florida.
Goodness.
Why is
we
that
need to
though?
change.
Why? How are they getting away with this?
So it is, law enforcement officers have discretion. They have a wide breadth of discretion. And that discretion is enforced by the leadership of the sheriff.
Makes sense.
So if the sheriff says, or let's put it like this, if the sheriff is silent on something, if the sheriff doesn't have a position and he just lets the status quo be the status quo, that's what you're going to get. In June and July of last year of 2019, there were 52 youth who were eligible for an alternative to arrest. 52 of them. So this is June and July, right? These are busy months when there is no school.
Right.
So these are in the community, 52 kids had the possibility to be arrested. 50 of them were arrested.
Wow. All of them. And you're really focusing on the youth.
So the very first thing that I put out was a plan to end the school to prison pipeline. So the state law requires now, particularly after the tragedy that was Parkland down in Broward County, state law requires law enforcement to be in the schools. You have to have a deputy in the schools.
Good.
Okay? But what I am saying is law enforcement that is in a school, the deputies that are going to be in the schools, you're not an extension of school discipline. School discipline is school discipline.
That's
Right.
it.
You are there
To
to
protect.
bridge that gap from what are young people who grow up not trusting law enforcement. You're that bridge. That's your responsibility.
Right.
You're not an extension of the school disciplinary policies. You're just not. That's not your role. You are there to protect the children in the event that there is the worst scenario possible.
It wasn't in Florida that they arrested like a 5-year-old. Was that here in Florida?
That was here in Orlando.
Yeah,
What?
that was
In Orlando?
Yes. They locked him up. I think he
A 5-year-old little girl?
I think he
I
might have
think-
kicked the teacher
She
or
was,
something.
I believe she was 6 years old.
6.
Kaya, I think, was her first name.
I can't believe this.
She was, by the time law enforcement got there, she was already calm. She was in the
She's
basically
6.
the administrator's office, and the officer joked about, well, this breaks a record for the youngest person that he'd ever arrested. They couldn't even put handcuffs on her because she was too small.
That's so sad.
They had to get zip ties and put zip ties on a baby girl.
I don't understand how no one really said anything. I might have to get fired because as a teacher, I'll be like, wait, don't you think this is excessive?
Yeah, what
Let me
happened
call
to
her
going
mom
to
and
the
dad
principal,
first.
you know?
Yeah, call the parents first. She's 6, Prince.
Yes.
Well, let me just say this: a lot of them are so afraid to losing their jobs
it.
that they won't say anything. And it's interesting that he's saying that. I've dabbled in a lot of different things. I've worked for the NBA. I've worked as a counselor, and my first case was a 7-year-old in Memphis, Tennessee, that was arrested. That was arrested and taken down. And so we have to stop that.
That child
And I
will
asked
forever
him-
be afraid of law enforcement now. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Right.
They're here to protect you. I was never afraid of
Yes,
law
sir.
enforcement. I was surrounded by law enforcement, my family. So I've seen them
Yeah,
protecting.
mine too.
Yeah, so I get both. But now you're raising the kids to be afraid of you.
Yeah.
So then,
Well, I'd like to talk to the young man off the radio about he running for sheriff, because there is a program that I'm working up to give young people more opportunity than prison. So it's like teens receiving op over prison.
I love it.
yeah, I am on all the social medias. If you search Reform Sheriff, like you can search that right on Facebook.
Okay.
Just Reform Sheriff, or you can search Andrew Darling for Orange County Sheriff. Reform Sheriff's just easier. But yeah, feel free to reach out to me. I mean, that stuff comes directly to me, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Reform Sheriff. It's all going to come to me. I'm going to get it, and we can talk there.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm so old school. I'm not on Twitter nor what's the other Instagram. But I've been asked as an artist that I should. But I will. I will reach out to you. Your last name is Darling.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and I lived in over off of 436 in Colonial, but I was always over in the hood, as they say, in Pine Hills and the church over there, Pine Hill Community Church. But that's been ages ago since I've been in Memphis. Been in Orlando. I would really appreciate, on another subject, if you can pass my telephone number to one of the Ram family, because it's a very unusual name. More than likely, they all connected.
So you guys keep it locked right here, the Peace on the Streets radio show. We got a hot show coming up. But you guys do know it is the love hour. So everybody been texting in and saying they've been close to their girl. They ready to start back kissing and hugging. So it's time for some more love songs right here on Peace on the Streets radio show. You guys keep it locked right here, Peace on the Streets, with your boy Prince of the South.
And your girl, Mimi.
And Andrew Darling for Orange County Sheriff.
And Auntie Hester.
Yay.
Auntie Hester and Hester Muller from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Hey, go Dallas.
So we have a special guest on tonight, Mrs. International, Latino International, the one and the only, you guys, Miss Angela. How you doing?
I was doing good. I was grooving to that song, Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's old school. I love it.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. You can slow drag to that one, Miss Angela.
Oh, my God. I could float to anything Earth, Wind, and Fire did. I'll tell you, I was listening to a song by the Dells today. I love that old school music.
Yes, nothing like it. Nothing like it. So what's going on, Miss Angela, in your world?
Oh, in my world, you know what? I'm still here, so that's the most important.
Yes, it is.
That's
And
right.
Thank you for being here, too.
Oh, well, yeah, thank you. And I love that, Mimi, I love that video they put up of you and I on Florida National News.
I know. I just shared it, guys, by the way. And it's Florida National News, the interview that we did on the cruise with Miss Angela. They put it on in the news. Isn't that amazing?
Sweet.
It feels great. I'm a superstar. No, just playing. Miss Angela, you're the best.
That was my favorite part of doing that show. When I saw that video come up, because, you know, they would pause and say, we're going to go to a commercial break. I saw that come up. I said, oh, my God, that was my favorite video.
That's
I love
awesome.
it.
I love it as well. I appreciate it. Now, aren't we supposed to go on a cruise that was supposed to be in 2 months? I'm sure that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you know, right now all the cruise ships are on a halt because the CDC had them on a halt for like 100 days. So the Bahamas, believe it or not, is still closed. Now, they were supposed to open up sometime in June, but now I think they put it back to sometime in July. So we just got the word that they might sail in July. It's still not. It's still not given the green light. In fact, a lot of cruise ships are not going back out until August 1.
Wow.
Yeah, some of the cruise ships have canceled their European tours for the year. I know Disney has pushed back, Norwegian's pushed back, Royal Caribbean, Carnival. But Bahamas just came out with a plan. That's absolutely amazing. I mean, the way they're going to be practicing social distancing and sanitation, I have to send you this article. They are rewriting the book.
They are.
On how to do this. And the great thing about Bahama Paradise Cruise Line is we're not out there the typical 7 to 10 days like everybody else is. We've got that fast turnaround. So the idea of a virus, you know, growing, they do the sanitation every day anyway. But the fact is that you're in port. Let's say you leave today, you're in the Bahamas tomorrow, you're back in port the following day. So really cleansing the whole ship is so turned around. And what I also love what they're doing, they're actually reconstructing the air conditioning system, because one of the things that they found out is that droplets, let's say I'm in my room and I cough. Okay, now there's nobody else in there but me, or let's say my husband's in with me. But now, let's say, excuse me, I have something that could go through the air conditioning system. Now, all of a sudden, those droplets somebody else is picking up.
I know, that's what I heard. But I'm so impressed by how they're just handling everything, the Bahama Cruise Line. It's an honor to be a part of them. I think they're handling everything so well. And Miss Angela, thank you for having us a part of that journey. And again, I don't know if you guys understand, but Miss Angela is former Miss New Jersey Globe. She attended the Juilliard Art School of Performing Arts. I mean, highly impressive. And she's the CEO of Miss International World and Miss Latina International. That's impressive. And don't you have a casting call going on with, right now, teenagers? And something coming up as well, because I saw you have so many things going on. It's amazing.
Well, you know, we've got a couple of casting calls coming up. We're doing, you know, a lot of casting calls online right now. Also, you know, so many events right now are just being rescheduled, changed, because nobody really knows what's going on. And I think with Florida opening up now and other states opening up, I would say in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be, I want to say it's going to be a day-to-day, week-by-week basis, because some states opened up and they're seeing spikes again in the virus, which is not good. And, you know, it's the whole thing is really the social distancing and not being in crowds. In fact, down here in South Florida, they had given the green light to open gyms, but now in Fort Lauderdale, they decided, no, they want to put a halt on that for a while. So I think they're, you know, we were the hardest hit down here between Broward County, Broward, and then especially Miami Beach, because, you know, that's where everything happens.
And let me say, I have a couple of friends, guys, that came from Broward County, came over here to stay at a hotel, got denied, sent back to Broward County because they're from Broward County, and it showed on their license. Wow. So it's that serious. Isn't that kind of scary?
It is.
Oh my gosh, pushing people away.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Angela, we have to go, unfortunately, but please give us your website, how we can keep up to date with the organization.
Well, our website is, if they go to www.mslatinainternational.com, they'll be able to find us there. And, of course, on social media, you can find us on Instagram under MS International World. On Facebook, they can find me as Angela Basilico, MS Latina International, and then MS International World. Very easy to find us.
That's it, guys. It's all over our pages as well.
Yes.
Peace on the Streets, the official media for Miss International World and Miss Latina International. Miss Angela, we will hear you again next Wednesday. Thank you so much.
You got it, babe. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, we have Monique Worrell, Chief Legal Officer, Reform Alliance Justice Reform Advocates. She'll be coming up next right here on Peace on the Street Radio Show, y'all. Welcome back to Peace on the Street. And I was just getting to jam, but then I got a call that said, hey, we need to call the one and the only Mrs. Monique Worrell. How you doing, Mrs. Monique? Welcome to Peace on the Streets.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Doing okay. How about yourself?
I am well. Thank you. So excited to be back with you guys tonight.
Yes, glad to have you on. Everybody is trying to stay safe. And we got your boy on. We got your boy right here with us.
Mr. Andrew Darling, yes.
Yes.
These guys are making a movement, and they're going to make a change. It is so inspiring to see you guys. I'm so happy to be with you guys. And Monique, what do you got going on right now?
So listen, guys, tomorrow night on Facebook Live, I am going to be talking about juvenile justice. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be really, really important. We're going to talk about young people in the system, the realities of what it means to transfer a youth into adult court, and programs here locally that can actually help children instead of putting them through the jail system.
That's huge. What time again tomorrow, Monique?
It's going to be on Facebook Live tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at Monique for State Attorney.
That's impressive. So you and Mr. Darling are actually really focusing on the youth to make a change in our system.
Well, that's what it means to be progressive, right, Andrew Darling?
Absolutely. Now, if you're going to start anywhere, like that's where the lasting change is going to be. If you start with the young people, you're not damaging young people.
Right.
And those damaged young people are not growing into damaged older people.
Exactly.
And they're not continuing to be part of our system and continually being, in a lot of cases, victimized by our system.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if we can start there, like the lasting impacts are not just, the 4 years that we get elected. It's lifetimes from now.
Yes.
It literally changes the foundation of our criminal justice system.
That's amazing. Now, is it true that rear numbers, every prisoner, they get paid off of?
So there are, yes and no. So there is an allotted amount to a facility based on capacity and based on the number of people they have in place. So one of the reasons that we run into trouble, and I mean, we have, over 100,000 people. I think 96,000 is roughly the number in the state prison system, but that's not including local jails. It's not including some of the federal facilities that we have, some of the temporary, and I use air quotes for that, immigration facilities that we have. There are... I think the count as of last year was like 176,000, and that's including people who are Baker Acted, which means they are remanded to mental health custody by a court. And one of the things that's sort of a misnomer is here in Florida, it's not that we have private prisons. There are some of the federal stuff that are private, but what it is we have a lot of the services inside prisons, the medical, the food, some of the transportation. There's a lot of different things that are privatized. So while the prison might be run by the government, there are private contractors and private companies who the sole purpose of them bidding for something is to make money. And if they bid and they're approved a certain amount, they're going to provide care to the smallest amount that they can so that they have a difference between what they provide and what they're paid so that they can make money. And I mean, I know that Monique is familiar with prison systems as well. And I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Monique?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. And actually, one of the prisons here in Florida that had the highest COVID numbers was a private prison. So we have the issue of privatized prisons and those that are guaranteed a certain number of bodies. And just think about that for a minute, that we're guaranteeing you that we're going to incarcerate a certain number of people so that you can make a certain amount of money per year. And we're guaranteeing you human beings, the lives of human beings that we will incarcerate in order to guarantee you your profit margin. In addition to many of the privatized services that Andrew discussed, which include just the simple things like a phone call to your family members. You know, prison visits have been suspended since about the second week in March, and individuals' only contact to their family is through the phone system. And while I know that they were giving away some free phone calls and some free emails, the reality of it is that there's still the pay-to-play system in place. And we're not talking about, you know, the 25-cent payphone call. We're talking about a phone call that can cost as much as $5 for a 15-minute call or more. You know, we're talking about commissary, that individuals, just to have decent and edible food, that their families have to send money every month just so that they can, you know, live. It is a money-making system, and it's one that we should be ashamed of as a free country.
I didn't even know the depths of how much it costs to make a phone call. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, you make them phone calls, boy, that bill will run.
That's not even regular average. That's like excessive. How do they get away with this? That's the things I think we need to change. A lot of us don't actually know. We do know. We know something.
Well, you don't know until somebody's calling you and you get that high.
That's what
you
it
get that
is.
high phone bill in about 30 days. You'll know
insane.
Then. Yeah, it is. So that's why we're with people that want to make a change and see that. But some think that the system is too far gone. It's too much. Is that true? Is it true that it's too far gone? Can it be changed? Are they willing to make a change? I guess that's why you here.
Well, I think that's why Monique and I are running. Is you don't. There are a lot of advocates at a lot of different levels of the criminal justice system. You have advocates that are in the Supreme Court arguing constitutional issues. You have advocates in the state Supreme Court. You have folks in trial courts. You have people who are fighting the death penalty. You have people who are doing appeal work. You have folks who are in every day, prosecutors, public defenders, criminal defense attorneys. You have people every day who are trying to fight the system. But at the end of the day, there's an old thing in sort of like database building where if you have bad information that goes in, bad information comes out. So if all the information that you're getting, if the information, the reasons that you are putting people in jail are reasons you didn't even need to put them there to begin with, you're going to get bad data. You're going to get bad information. And it's not, oh, well, these statistics over this much time. Like, it's not data. These are people.
Yes.
Right.
That we are literally... So we are taking their lives. And listen, there are some people, and I don't think Monique and I have ever said that nobody should be in prison.
Correct.
Like,
Absolutely right.
Some need to go. I mean,
there are people. There are people who commit crimes that they simply cannot live in a civilized society.
Structure.
Right?
They can't do it.
They can't. And listen, that's part of a society.
Right.
That's why we have systems in place to make sure that we are being fair. But at the same time,
the reality of it is that if you look at our prison population here in Florida, since the 70s, it has increased by more than 300%.
Jeez.
Whoa.
300?
By 300%.
Goodness.
So while we understand that there are some people who are in fact a danger to the community and need to be off the streets in order to keep our community safe, the majority of the people who are in the prison system don't fall into that category.
That's insane. So is Florida the worst for this?
we're top 3, I believe.
What? And
Unbelievable.
Monique is a candidate for state attorney.
Uh-huh.
And Mr. Darling, Andrew Darling, is a candidate for sheriff, Orange County Sheriff.
Right.
These guys are going to make the change. This
Yes.
is why you need to hear them out.
You guys need to get out and vote. You guys got to get out and vote and stop voting for the same thing because we're going to get the same
Yeah,
results.
and don't listen to
look outside the box.
the ads and just hear names and instantly vote because you hear their name. You have to look into them.
Yeah.
Obviously, no change has come yet.
Because only person going to get my vote, I have to see your agenda.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times people don't even look at a person's agenda. They just vote because they're a Democrat, Republican. I need to see your agenda. What are you going to do for us as a people?
And what have you done already?
Yeah.
What have you done for me lately?
Janet Jackson.
That's it.
Yes. So we got to wrap this party up. What would you like to tell the people, Mr. Andrew?
I just want to say first, get to our social medias, get to our website, learn what it is that we're about. I promise you, criminal justice reform is not just the future because it's some fad, it's some trendy thing. Mm-hmm. It is the right thing to do.
Right.
And the amount of change that you have, and for the folks out there that are much more concerned about finances, it's a lot cheaper to fix a problem in a young person and stop that person from continuously hurting themselves, hurting other people, and hurting our system. It is so much easier to fix, young people than it is to try to correct broken men.
And as an adult, exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
Love it. I love it. How about you, Mrs. Monique?
Hey, listen, guys, thank you so much for having us on. Check out our websites. I'm Monique, fourthstateattorney.com, and Andrew's AndrewDarling.com. Check out our platforms. Check out our socials. And if you like what we're talking about, stand with us. Volunteer for our campaigns. Donate to our campaigns. Help us to make the change that this community needs to keep the community safe and build a stronger community while doing so.
Amen. I appreciate you. Thank you, and good luck and you guys' endeavors. And, hey, we can't wait till we stand and hold hands together and say, y'all
we did it. Yes.
We're ready for that, too.
Yeah, amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for your time, for giving us so much insight. This is huge for the community. And we're going to vote, Prince.
Yes, indeed.
Be there.
Peace on the street.
Woo!
A sports talk with our girl, Alexis. What's up, Alexis?
Oh, not too much. Just a lot of sports news today.
All righty. Tell us what's going on in the world of sports.
So you guys know my favorite team is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, boy.
And Big Ben is back, finally.
Yes, finally,
Yes. In week 2, he suffered a season-ending injury to his elbow, his throwing elbow, and he's had surgery, and he actually kept a beard growing the entire time until he could actually throw to his teammates again. And he's officially a clean-shaven man and looks totally different.
He looks cool.
He looks way better than he did.
So congratulations, Big Ben. What else we got, girl?
Well, the Olympics would have concluded their medal ceremony tomorrow. And now they are to be held in Tokyo, July 23rd to August 8th in 2021. And I know you guys know Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his daughter actually just made history, becoming the youngest signee in the history of WWE.
How awesome.
Yeah.
The youngest?
Yes.
How old is she?
She's 18.
Okay.
Big shout out to them.
And she's actually the 4th generation superstar.
Yep.
It dates all the way back to her great-grandfather.
That's right. I'm a fan.
Because his dad used to be a boxer. I mean, he was a wrestler.
Wrestler, yeah.
They called him Rocky.
I'm not sure, but it went to his dad, to his grandfather. That's impressive.
Yeah,
Now-
it was Rocky. I mean, he would box.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember as a kid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And this year has been full of ups and downs, and that even goes into the Belmont Stakes, the 154th running, and it will actually be held June 20th of this year, and it's typically the 3rd race of the Triple Crown, and it will now be the 1st race.
Wow.
And it will even be shortened, which to me is super crazy because it's typically the longest race, and the Triple Crown, the first 2 races, the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness, are for horses that have a lot of speed.
Right.
And then the Belmont is more for distance. So I think it kind of almost gives an upper hand to horses with speed because they'll be racing at a shorter distance.
Wow.
Right. Because with them, in that race, they normally take out, they start slow, and then by the time it picks up, they taking off and they speed. Now it's, bam, go and get in and get it out.
That's going to change the game?
Yeah, that's going to change the
absolutely.
big time.
And Churchill Downs actually kicked off their races this weekend, but it looked a little different because there were no fans in the crowd. And a lot of trainers are saying that it actually helped the horses because,
I believe it.
Yeah,
The noise.
Yep, exactly. That there's no distractions. And it also, to my surprise, improved business. Even without selling any tickets, betting went up 183.7%.
What?
So this weekend they spent $14,278,726.
I don't think you have to be there live. You're
Wow.
betting, right?
Yeah, you can bet online
Yeah,
now.
that's amazing.
But it's just the feeling when you're there, you know.
yeah, I'm sure. I've always loved to see something like that live.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience. So, yeah.
Wow, so that game hasn't really. Congratulations on them because they're still doing it.
Well, you know what they saying with the NBA and some of the NFL, they might just they're gonna have crowd cheering.
Oh,
so when
like
you
fake
score
crowds.
touchdowns, yeah,
Good for them.
When you get a first down, yeah,
Good for them.
And whenever anything happen, you drop a pass, boo, all of that.
When the
So,
Patriots come out, boo! I understand.
When Dallas Cowboys come out, losers again. I'm just saying. We appreciate you, Lexus.
Yes.
With Sports Talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you guys have been.
Another beautiful night in Orlando, Florida.
Yes, it is.
You guys are about to sign off. Don't forget, the saddest thing is wasted talent. Don't waste the gift that God has given you. Go full force and don't let fear or intimidation stop you. Buenas noches, Orlando. Stay safe.
Bona knees to you too, guys. And you guys, make sure you tune in next week from 9 to 11. We'll be at it again, you guys, right here at Peace on the Street Radio Show. I'm your boy, Prince of the Sun.
With your girl, Mimi.
And Alexis.
And we out of here, guys. Orlando, Florida. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Peace on the Streets Radio Show with your host, Prince of the Sun.
And your girl, Mimi.
This is the Heavy Production.
Late night, feet up, ride round, still up, peace on the streets. You gotta listen to Peace on the Street. Kicking it with Prince of the South and your girl Mimi. And they make it look way too easy. Peace on the streets. You gotta listen to Peace on the Streets. So you gotta tune in. Wednesday night, 9 to 11. Get with the movement. Promise you and I regret it. With no hesitation. Yeah, grab your lady. Just turn to the station. WOKB 1680 AM. Peace on the streets. You gotta listen to Peace on the streets. Peace on the streets. You gotta listen to Peace on the streets.